Good afternoon, Paul. It's the 15th of December, a Thursday. Here's the heads up brief for today.
Excellent. Go ahead, Uday.
So, Paul, there's a rather big update in Thailand. Yesterday, 31 members of parliament resigned from the House of Representatives. From the governing coalition, 11 people resigned from the Palang Pracharat Party, two from the New Economics Party, one from the Democrat Party, and one from other smaller parties in the coalition. There's a few there.
Yep.
In the
Yep.
opposition, seven Phoi Thai MPs resigned, and five MPs from the Move Forward Party. Now, these guys are all rumored to be joining the Bhumjatai Party. Bhumjatai tomorrow will be announcing who is joining the party, and if all these people do join the party, it will be the largest party in the government, unseating the Palang Pracharat Party.
Okay, and have they stated whether they intend to stay with the government coalition, or are they going to work against it?
Paul, there's already a few fissures within the government coalition, especially between the Bhumjatai Party and the Democrat Party on the decriminalization of marijuana. And the Bhumjatai Party has also said that, it's gunning to be a kingmaker and gain the most number of seats in the next election. And its leader, Anutin, does want to be a prime minister with his whole term.
Okay, and has any indicators come out of Prayut or his office on where he's sitting on all this?
Prayut, it still seems, is going towards the United Thai Nation Party, Paul. We had talked about Prawit's comments yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
So nothing new.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're probably seeing a bit of a Thai smokescreen and a bit of a chess game playing out.
Yeah.
Who's the master of those chess pieces? Yeah, I'm a little bit uncertain about at this stage, so I'll just hold my thoughts while I'm looking and thinking this through.
Sure, Paul. In Fiji, the general elections were yesterday. It seems that the incumbent prime minister is leading, but the opposition was leading at the start yesterday, but there was a suspension of voting for a few hours, after which the current prime minister took the lead. To give some context, in the lead up to the elections, the government has been suppressing the opposition. So it's a bit messy over there right now.
Well, the politics there is always messy, and let's not forget that was a government inserted by military power, so they won't be keen to cough it back up to an opposition.
Right. Well, in Papua New Guinea, authorities have banned alcohol in Morobe province from December 19th to January 31st. This is to maintain the law and order situation, especially over the holiday period.
Well, let's see how it goes. It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on the cut, but not thinking about who had the knife. So a bit of a stopgap measure, one would feel, given the inequities there, the poverty line, the various social issues they have, the lack of employment, the prevalence of politicians to make themselves very wealthy at the expense of the community. So interesting to see how effective it is. My greatest fear is it will drive them to sniff glue, sniff petrol, get meth and other more harmful substances. And what we forget when we make stopgap social order for popularity decisions is that the Melanesians have had violence for 10,000 years, a long time before they had SP beer. So I think it's more a PR exercise than a real security measure.
Great. Thanks, Paul. In South Asia, farmers in the Punjab state in India will protest from today for a month. They'll block toll plazas on highways. They're protesting against the state and central government. The state government came to power earlier this year, so we'll keep an eye out on the disruptions to see how much they can mobilize and whether there actually will be substantial disruptions within Punjab.
Okay, thank you.
Paul, in your Middle East and Africa region, Glencore, which is the Swiss commodity trading and mining firm, will pay 180 million US dollars to the Democratic Republic of Congo for making corruption payments. It Earlier this year, it had admitted to bribing officials in Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, South Sudan, Brazil, and Venezuela. So it has a total of $1.6 billion in fines, but despite that, it's expected to make record profits this year.
Well, I mean, tip of the iceberg. There are many countries where all multinationals are doing it and all pretending they're angels, and they're all hiding behind third parties and all pretending they have accounting systems where it can't be discovered, whereas blind Freddy knows how they do it. This may be the opening of the Pandora box, and Glencore getting in early and admitting guilt may prove to be wise, because I think many household names operating in all the countries that are famous for their ability to encourage and accept and, in fact, require foreign investors to be corrupt. I think we're going to see a myriad of those get exposed at some point. And at the moment, very reputable laws from America ensure that it's all controlled by a requirement that the top 4 accounting companies do the audits, and one would hope that's to make it all everyone abiding by the laws of anti-corruption. But the reality is it makes those particular accounting firms very powerful in the process. So I think that policy was set up in closed doors in the States, and it's one that was either done with great wisdom or great blindness, depending on which side of the fence you're looking at it from. And hopefully in the future, they will liberalise who can do audits so that the very obvious hiding of corruption payments can be exposed, because it's all going to come out at some point. All right, excellent briefing. Thank you.
Paul, I just wanted to bring up one last thing along the themes of corruption only. European Union parliamentarians are embroiled in a corruption scandal too. It's apparently linked to taking money from Qatar to play down labor rights concerns related to the Football World Cup. And 2 weeks ago, Germany and Qatar signed a major energy deal. Qatar will supply 2 million tons of LNG to Germany annually for 15 years from 2026.
Yes, and look, Qatari and the safety of construction and the deaths, and potentially paying off officials in the EU Parliament that have now been, some have formally been suspended, some have stood down, some because their personal assistants are involved, and some because it's only a matter of time until they're named and shamed. But who'd have thought? The European Union and Qatar, who'd have ever thought of that one, huh? I've always thought they were also squeaky clean. Thanks, Uday.
All right, thanks, Paul. Anything else from you?
No.
All right, see you tomorrow.